Therefore, any successful theorization of contemporary marketing practices and axioms needs to examine marketing work first and foremost as engagement in processes through which products and services come into being, acquire meaning for consumers, and obtain economic value through positioning within a competitively optimum definition of the market. In short, processes of product valorization and of constant stabilization and destabilization of market boundaries, product categories, and product features. Marketing as performance. Performing marketing work is a complex undertaking that involves a number of actors and tasks, including market research, product research and development, design, advertising, distribution, and pricing, among others. To unravel how market, product, and value stabilization and destabilization continually occur and are managed by various economic actors requires us to look inside the processes, conditions, and agencies of marketing performance through anthropological, textual, historical, and sociological analyses. Meaningful theorization of how marketing works, that is, to what effect it operates in various social, cultural, and economic contexts, what kind of devices marketers employ and to what end, what kind of knowledge it concerns, and, hence, what kind of power it produces, and, finally, what kind of subjectivities on both sides of the exchange relationship it encourages and produces, requires a systematic and multi-methodological research effort. Interestingly, while the work of marketing has received relatively scant attention from prominent social scientists, the work of the consumer and of consumption itself has been the target of meticulous academic and professional scrutiny. In the field of academic marketing, research on consumer behavior has long found a place in the laboratories of business schools and psychology departments, where throngs of undergraduate students, posing as the average shopper, are painstakingly probed and observed for the slightest reactions to manipulations in price, packaging, mode of distribution and display of products, music, size of advertisings, and other sometimes surprising, if not bizarre, aspects of the market environment. In a desire to enrich the epistemology of capitalism, no stone is left unturned. No aspect of the consumer's inner life, decision-making process, and motivation is too odd, outlandish, or negligible to preclude extensive investigation in the laboratory. In addition, a relatively smaller group of marketing scholars has adopted techniques traditionally used by anthropologists and sociologists to investigate consumers in their natural habitat. This particular approach to studying consumer behavior was conceived in the summer of 1986, when a group of U.S.-based marketing professors embarked on a cross-country research trip visiting swap meets, flea markets, county fairs, and other sites not only of consumption, but of forms of behavior previously neglected by the laboratory approach. Touted as an attempt to generate deep cultural knowledge of consumers, this summer project ultimately gave rise to a new generation of graduate students and professors earnestly spying on young people at the mall or obsessively staring at them in virtual communities. Finally, there is the massive field of commercial customer research, with its own rather long and peculiar history that ensures a constant flow of corporate knowledge production of the consumer. In comparison to the impressive amount of resources, time, and energy funneled into researching the inner life of consumers, a rather minor effort has been made to study the growing army of economic actors whose work it is to define markets and give shape to the consumer culture as we know it. Furthermore, the results of the work that marketers do are, by definition, highly visible. Indeed, we would suggest that making things visible, in the sense of bringing them forward and rendering them meaningful and recognizable, through such means as product design, packaging, display strategies,